Hey everybody, Shaving Nobody Else's Auto. We're back at one of my favorite places to go, the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, here with our good friend Doug Prey. Doug, you know I love coming here. I always get excited, I get geeked because you always got great stuff.
Well, and it changes every time you come.
That's what's so great about it.
It's different. And this time there's a couple cars in here that are for sale. They actually belong to customers, but they asked us to sell them for them because they were moving on to a different car.
And that's something else you guys do besides restoration work.
Yeah, we do. We do broker these cars, and mainly Auburn Cords and Duesenbergs because that's our thing, our niche. But this is actually a Glen Prey, a real deal production line car. This car came out of this plant when I was a young man. I actually worked on the assembly line. I've been here 65 years, and this car was on the assembly line back in the 70s when I was working on the assembly line. So anything on this car, my job was to build and install anything that's chrome on the car. So like this windshield frame was a rough casting that I fit to the car, chrome plated, installed on the car. The headlights we made, the bumpers we made. Anything that's chrome, I actually did. I actually had a chrome plating shop. And so if you see chrome on a Glen Prey car, most likely I'm the one who made it and installed it and did it. But this car belongs to a young man here in town. This car was well used. It's got over 50,000 miles on it. And for a second generation car, that's quite a bit. This one was built in the 70s. It's exactly the way it was, but yet it's got some hanger rash on it. The car sat under a canopy for most of its life. The old lacquer paint can stand to be freshened up. The leather interior is actually held up really good. Most of the chrome is pretty good.
But realistically, looking at the paint here, it's got a few chips in it, but a lot of this will still polish out. I mean, you can do a lot with lacquer.
You could detail this car back out and not spend a whole lot of money on it. It's got its original 460 big block Ford engine in it, tilt steering column. Originally, they came with an AM/FM tape deck. That's been taken out, but it's the instruments, the air conditioner, the tilt wheel. We've kind of upgraded the later ones to a banjo steering wheel and automatic shifter that looks vintage versus looking forward. But that's all that was available back in the 60s and 70s when we were building these. We built over 350 cars. Of this particular model, we built, I think, 115. And I can look on the serial number, but this is somewhere in the 50s. So kind of mid-range. This was pretty much a loaded model, leather interior. It had the wire wheel hubcaps rather than the actual real wire wheels. We did them both ways. It's got the louvers on the side, which only the later cars had. All the cars came with spotlights. They were all air conditioned. The majority of them were automatics. There were only about 10 that were built with 4 speeds because most people just wanted the comfort of automatic air conditioning. Full hideaway convertible top. The top on this car is very nice. I don't think they hardly ever had it up. But this car is for sale, and it's for sale under the money, so that's why it's probably good for your people to see what's available. A Glen Prey car, a real deal Glen Prey car, which you want to make sure. The others are made from kits, and they're copies of copies of copies,
right,
which is fine, but they're basically custom street rods. This is a factory built production line.
Your dad owned Auburn. It was the factory right here. He was the guy.
Built by the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company. It's real deal Auburn. The Glen Prey cards with his name on them bring a premium. So this is a great car for somebody who wants a driver car or wants to go ahead and dress it back up into a show car. The going price on a really nice, ready-to-go driver on a Glen Prey Speedster is around $90,000 to $100,000. This one, I think he's pricing it right now at $60,000. So there's plenty of room there for somebody to come in and do the detail. It's a pretty well sorted out car. Runs and drives nice. So mechanically, you don't have to do much, and it's all Ford products. So if you didn't need to do anything, you can buy the parts. So anyway, it's available. It's for sale. It's a real deal Glen Prey. It's under the money. If somebody's interested, give us a call, And you know, we can talk to you more about it, but it'll get sold here pretty quickly. So
Now, on these cars, when you guys built them, what options were available?
well, we made it at first automatic with an option. Then we found out everybody was ordering automatic. So all the later ones all came automatic. They all came with leather. So the option was wire wheels and color. Everything else was we put on there. We put the AM, FM of the day, the big block engines, the tilt wheel. So you could pick a tan or a black top. You could pick the color of your leather and carpet. Pick your color of your paint and decide whether you want wire wheels or not.
And after you built the first few, you realized everybody wanted automatic, everybody wanted air, so that's how you built them.
Right, so we just made them all loaded. And this is a good color combination. In fact, it's one of my favorites with the off-white and the dark red interior. I mean, I really like this. So anyway, a big block Ford underneath, crazy fast. You can imagine in the 1970s, you pull up next to a Corvette with a big block Ford in this lightweight fiberglass car. The engine is moved back. This is with a 120 mile an hour car. And people think you're in a 1935 or 36, and this is, you know, was new at the time. I still remember this as a new car. It's hard to believe it's this old now, because I actually built this car on the assembly line. So.
But the thing about it, with this having a 460 Ford in it, if you need to tune this up, you can go to Napa and you can get plugs, wires, everything. It's all available. It's not hard to find. It's not hard to do. Anybody can work on them, and you can go enjoy it with this kind of style.
That's right. And without the tremendous expense. An original Auburn, if this was an original 1935-36 Auburn Speedster, a real deal car, it'd be $800,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
So here you're into one for $60,000. You know, that is much more fun to drive.
Yeah.
And you're not scared to drive it.
Right.
So anyway, this one's available. There's another car down here we have that's available for sale, but somebody needs to jump on that.
Well, what's cool about it is, you know, you always look at the history of a car. Well, if you want to know the history of this car, it's right here.
Yep.
It was built here.
Right.
You helped build it.
Right.
There's no, it's kind of hard to debate the provenance when the guy that helped build it is still here with the car.
No. And the fact that it is a real deal Glen Prairie car, and for your people who watch and they're looking for second generation cars, if it's an Auburn or a Cord, make sure it has the name Glen Prairie attached to it.
Absolutely, because he was the company at that point in time, and you guys are now. But back in that time, when people saw the success he had with it, even though his was the most correct, because he was doing it all from the original tooling with the original parts, there were so many knockoffs that came from that that were not of this quality.
That's exactly right. So I have people call all the time, I'm getting ready to buy this car, can you tell me if it's a real Glen Prairie or not? And I usually can just even glance at the pictures and tell you if it's a car we built here or not. One of the number one telltale signs, people say, what's the quickest way I can tell? If the engine's running and you put your hand on the exhaust and it burns your hand, it's probably a Glen Prairie car, because we never built a car without functional exhaust. And 99% of all the knockoffs, they're fake exhaust.
They just stuck pipes on them.
They stuck pipes on them. But we never built a car that it wasn't functional.
So that's a good tip to know.
That's an easy way to tell. Right, easy way to tell.
So you said you got another one here that's about ready to hit the market.
An original one that is for sale right now at a bargain price. So let's show that to you.
So what year is this little Auburn?
So this is a 32 Auburn Model 8100. So 8100 was basically sort of 8-cylinder, 100 horsepower.
Okay.
So it's
easy enough.
Yeah, it's a straight 8100. They built this body style in 31, 32, 33, and then on V12 salons in 34. But basically, this is 31, 32, 33, 4-door sedan. You could get any body style you wanted, but this is this was the most popular, was the 4-door sedans. Now, this same car, what is so interesting about this car, if it was a speedster, a boat tail speedster, it's the same frame, it's the same 2-speed axle, it's the same engine, it's the same instruments, it's the same almost everything. except Speedsters don't have running boards. They don't have 4 doors. They don't have roll-up windows. So a Speedster is really not near the car as this beautiful 4-door. This car can be bought. We got to bolt the fenders back on it. This is just a sorted out, really nice car. The engine has been built. A really good driver with a really nice interior. Literally ready to go, not a concourse car, a really ready to go driver that could go to Auburn, Indiana, park next to the $1 million Duesenbergs, be totally accepted and have fun with it. And this car can be bought like it is right now for probably $40,000.
Yeah.
And we probably need to spend another $5,000 or $10,000 on it to bolt the fenders and running boards and everything else on it. But for a sorted out, rebuilt engine, it costs typically $30,000 to rebuild an engine, where it's got a rebuilt engine in it, and you can buy the whole car for $40,000.
Did you just rebuild this engine then?
No, this engine, somebody else rebuilt. We pulled the head off, inspected everything. It all looked good. New valves in it, had new pistons in it. But we did not build the engine. But it is a good engine. We've run the engine. It sounds good, runs good. We put water in it. Now we got to stick the radiator back in it. Just basically bolt it on back together.
So you're just checking this over, making sure it's all sorted out,
Right.
ready to go, ready to be enjoyed.
Right. The one thing this one's got that is not my favorite, but some people it is, this has wood wheels on it. I would go to wire wheels, and with me, I'd go wide white wall tires, and I'd go bigger tires and chrome wire wheels. But that's just me. Some people like the look of the wood wheels. And I do, if somebody did buy the car and wanted to go to wire wheels, I think I do have a set of wire wheels that I could
To upgrade it if they chose, yeah.
if they decided to do that. But anyway, at a bargain price, if it was a Speedster in the same car, you're talking $350,000. Then we're talking $40,000, and all these parts would unbolt and bolt onto the Speedster.
Yeah.
The same thing. And a lot of the new generation loves the sedan look, and you're riding in a parade, it starts raining, it's no big deal.
Right, absolutely.
And this car cruised down the road, it's a 60-mile-an-hour car. You can have fun.
So
with
you
it.
can drive it.
You
can drive it on a normal basis on a regular road,
Right.
and not worry about not being able to keep up with traffic and things like that.
And they're pretty simple, and if something goes wrong, we've got the parts and we've got the know-how on how to walk somebody through a tune-up or something that they need to do to it. But very simple, straight 8. It's got an updraft carburetor on it. 100 horsepower, nice driving car. So anyway, it's available at a good price. So if anybody's interested, give me a call. We'll talk about it. But it needs a new home.
Well, a couple of great opportunities.
Yeah. No, that's what it's all about. People think, oh, it's too expensive to get into this hobby.
No, it's not.
That's you can get into a hobby, and again, when you're at Auburn, Indiana, parking at the show, you'll park against $1 million Duesenberg, and you may get just as much attention with your $40,000 car.
And you're probably going to have the only Auburn at the next cruise night.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is another thing that's different, cool about these cars. Even though this is the regular sedan, there's still no Auburns out there.
Right,
you don't see a lot of them. You take this home, you take it to your local cruise night, and
yeah, and this is a blast and have fun, and this is old school pre-war. But then you can get the Speedster look with the white car down there and have a 120-mile-an-hour car and really have fun. So it's kind of whatever you want.
Yep.
But I'm a big fan of the Glen Prairie cars because you have the styling of the 30s and the
modern drivetrain.
It's so so I'm a big fan of the Glen Prairie cars. In fact, I've got the last one built off the assembly line. It was built in 1981 at the house.
And you kept that car
Kept
ever
that
since
car.
then, yeah.
Yep, and it's a 4-door. It's a Phaeton, not the Speedster. So anyway, yeah, that's what's for sale. We got a lot of other things we can show you around here, but these are the 2 that are for sale right now.
Well, sounds great, Doug. As always, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We'll put the number on there if you guys want to give these guys a shout on these cars, because there's some great opportunities.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's go see what else we can find to check
All
out.
right, thanks.